Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar on how can NAPLAN transform you into a successful student. So my name is Harshita and I'm part of the team here at Turito. The webinar is a part of an outreach program by Turito for the students who are looking for a bright future and parents who dream of giving their children the best education. Before we start, let me give a quick overview of the organization. Turito is an innovative e-learning platform with a mission to make quality education accessible to all. Now, Turito is present in the USA, Canada, Middle East, India, Singapore, and Australia. And program offered by Turito are NAPLAN OC and one-on-one tutoring services for maths, science, English, coding, and robotics in the Australian region. So how do we differentiate from other edtech platforms which are currently available? Turito exclusively gives access to live and interactive one-on-one classes which are personalized to the custom needs of the student. Regular assessment to track the child's progress and doubt clarification sessions whenever needed for making their basics and concepts strong. Also, the parent application makes you part of your child's learning journey. Moreover, we have top 2% certified educators whom we partnered with to envision our mission. Before getting into the specifics, let me offer a quick introduction about our speaker at today's event. Mr. Durga Prasad, he has 30 plus years of experience in the education industry. He has worked as the Chief Educational Officer at the United Nations Organization. He has received the Best Academician Award from the Governor of Punjab. So before getting into the session, I request all the participants, if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type them down in the Q&A section. We shall be answering in the later part of the session. We'll now have Mr. Durga Prasad take us through the webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Harshita, and welcome to all the parents and students. I'd be first briefing a little bit on exactly what NAPLAN is and how it will be helpful for the kids and how important it is for a student.
Yeah, thanks.
And then I'll move on to the processes of Turito. Yeah, dear parents and students, as you all are aware that NAPLAN is just an assessment test. It has nothing to do with either pass or fail of any of the grades, whether it is 3rd or 5th or 7th or 9th grades. It has nothing to do with either pass or fail. So this is very, very important aspect. When I say this, many parents and students think then when it has nothing to do with either pass or fail, or it has nothing to do with regular academics, then why should somebody learn? See, first and foremost thing is the curriculum that is there for NAPLAN, or the syllabus that is there for NAPLAN, and the syllabus that is there for regular grades, either 3 or 5 or 7 or 9, is all same. It's not different. So when syllabus is same, maybe patterns of questioning could be different, but the subject is same. So once a student learns for NAPLAN, he or she is indirectly preparing for their regular grades. But the main difference between both the systems of education is NAPLAN needs a conceptual method of teaching learning process, and then skill development, then narration, and it is so designed that it gauges how student is able to cope up with the regular curriculum. Whereas normal or regular curriculum only gives the subjective knowledge of the subject. So when it is objective pattern, a student and conceptual way of teaching learning process, student can understand the concepts very well. he or she can develop the required skill to cope up with that syllabus and perform better, and also feels comfortable with future learning processes, whether it is uh, undergraduate courses or postgraduate courses or whatever it is for higher levels. This will be helpful. So when this can help student for current class grades as well as for future, it becomes very important for student to involve in this teaching learning process. Second thing is, Government of Australia, Ministry of Education would like to assess the purpose with which some curriculum and syllabus is designed. Are they met or not? And if this curriculum is really serving the purpose with which it is designed or not, and based on the inputs they get, they would like to go for changes. Actually, once in every 12 years, they go for revision of the syllabus. But otherwise, if NAPLAN gives them an idea or information that they have to revise, then they'll be going. So therefore, it's very critical for every child and the schools to give right picture to the government. Now, and when it comes to schools, as most of the schools in Australia are government funded, therefore, the fund what a school can receive will depend on the support system and the performances and the participation of students in this NAPLAN can give them an edge. If let's say 100% of the students of a school are participating, they are able to cope up with the things well. And if at all some inputs are needed, they are giving right inputs to the government. So then that school will have every right to ask for more funding for this from the government, showing the need. So therefore, it is helpful for the schools in getting the fund. It is helpful for the government to assess whether the purpose with which that curriculum is designed, is it serving or not. And for student, it will be helpful in developing concepts and skill development so that they can perform in the present grades and future grades very well. It also helps students to do well in their subjective part. Subjective means the regular curriculum. Not only this, as this is an academic credit, there are few private schools which are most sought by the so-called well-scoring students, and for them this will become an academic credit and it will be helpful for them to get into those schools. But this is not going to decide any seat or anything in any school, but it can only help add as an academic credit which could help the child get into those. So in any terms, if we see, it is always good for the student to participate. That's why what schools do is, if this NAPLAN is conducted in the month of May, if child cannot take the May exam for some reasons, they reconduct the tests and send the assessment scores to the government so that government can get full feedback on each school and each student. So this is how this NAPLAN becomes more and more important. Now, this NAPLAN is conducted in mathematics and English because whether it is sciences or social studies or any other language and all, they depend on mainly these things, because logical reasoning and analytical skills are developed with these two subjects. Then conceptual understanding is developed in the child. Then narrative skills are developed in the child, and language skills are developed. So if these skills are there, then automatically student can cope up with every subject. Therefore, this NAPLAN assessment test will test the students in English language and mathematics. Whether if it is mathematics, it could be calculator or no calculator, because third, fifth, it is only normal methods. But seventh and ninth, it is both calculator and no calculator sessions would be there. English, not just the language skills, that is writing skills, they also ensure that reading skills are developed in the child, narrative skills are developed in the child, because once they have the skills, many questions or science, the concepts and all needs good language skills. So then only a child can do better in those subjects also. Therefore, it becomes very, very critical for a student to do this, and they need to have a lot of narrative skills which can be developed with these systems. So therefore, NAPLAN only tests English and mathematics. If it is third grade child, it is third class syllabus only, fifth grade child, fifth class syllabus only, and so on. So therefore, there is no extra syllabus that a child need to work on or prepare with. They can focus on the same grade syllabus, but only thing is, as I already mentioned, regular schooling covers subjective way, and this NAPLAN covers in the objective way. And NAPLAN, above all that, it also involves in conceptual learning, skill development, which are very much useful for the child to grow. Now, when I talk about all these things, parents will get questions like, should I start? Because the exam is in the month of May and our program is about 40 days program. So should we start the program somewhere in November or January, or when should I start? So dear parents, I always mention earlier it is better, but never it is late. So if you ask me, sir, are we late? I said, no, you're not late, but child need to put little bit of additional effort if child is facing some problem and needs some additional involvement and time spending, because any curriculum that is designed does not include just the subjective part, but it also involves extracurricular, co-curricular activities, then sports, etc., etc. All these events need to be taken care by the child. Therefore, child need to involve in all these things. So, child need to involve in all these things, so they need time. So therefore, child need to plan everything in advance and start involving themselves. And wherever there is a problem, child should be given enough time to recover from that. For that, they need a lot of support system also. So therefore, it is always good for us to start early. When I say start early, parents will ask me, how much early? So a third grade child can start in grade 2 itself. Now, instead of covering something 10 aspects in 1 month, we can cover 10 aspects in 3 months. So this will give enough time for the student to recover and at their pace, while coping up with all other things, extracurricular, co-curricular, then social events, then subjective events, sports, etc., etc. And all these things they can participate, involve totally, and get through the things if they are given time. So when I say this, please don't think that it is late. So only thing is, if they are given time, 3 months time, they may spend 2 hours a day. If they are given 1 month time, they may need to spend 3 hours a day. So this is what is needed. So therefore, I suggest every parent to take NAPLAN training, because Turito, it never involves in simple subjective delivery, but it involves in concept development and skill development in the child, whether it is mathematics or English. So the purpose of curriculum being designed is taken care of by Turito. When this process is going on, if in case, if we find student is struggling somewhere in any area, our faculty will identify, talk to the parents and as well to the students, and educate them on what are the deficits and where they need improvement, and will be helping children even in one-on-one also, because we have individual coaching also subject wise. So therefore, it is always good for a student to be with Turito, and as already described, Turito has very good content which is student friendly. It has classwork, DPPs. DPPs means daily practice papers, where after teaching is done, student can practice the similar model questions at home. And if a child is able to spend extra time, we have something called as work at leisure, wherein child can spend extra time because they have additional content, previous year solved question papers, practice tests, fortnightly practice tests, and after completion of course 5 grand tests with paper discussions, and every week 1 day. Generally now we are conducting on every Friday doubt sessions, where if child has some doubts, they can ask on that day. Otherwise, when teaching is going on also, a student can ask. But additionally, when they are practicing, if they get some doubts, Every Friday, there is some doubt session conducted. Student can ask their doubts and get them clarified. And sometimes if student feels, no, I should not go to teacher now, let me refer on my own, then we have recorded lectures placed in our portal. A student can open those recorded.
Sir, we can't hear you. You're not audible, sir. Okay, we can wait for the sir to join in a minute. Okay, I believe there is a network issue from DP sir's side. So we can resume the slides and we can discuss about the Turito offerings.
Yeah, dear parents, I'm really sorry. Suddenly there was disconnect. I don't know where it got disconnected. There was some technical issue here. So
That's fine, so we can start from here.
yeah, so this is very important. Now, when I talk about all these things, parents ask me what to do and to get full scores, to develop subject-wise, conceptually, and all these things. So first and foremost thing is, please go to previous slide now. The time should be used wisely. Means, I mean to say that there should be proper planning in advance, how to cope up with each subject, then extracurricular, co-curricular, sporting, all-round growth should be there for the child. Then if child is, most of the kids, around 95% of kids do not focus while studying is going on. So I always suggest students to do meditation for half an hour, means concentrating early in the morning for half an hour. Most probably it is inhale and exhale. They'll inhale air from one of the nostrils and exhale from the other nostril. And their concentration should be fully on that inhale and exhale of the things. So that is called as meditation. And they need to play for 1 hour every day compulsorily. They need to keep themselves healthy and wealthy. They need to eat a lot of good foods, not stuffed foods and all, but most probably good vegetables, fruits, and other kind of good protein foods and all these things. They need to spend every day about 1 hour on English reading, half an hour on English writing, and 1 hour on maths. For these 4 months of time, that is around 2.5 hours, they need to spend on English, maths. That is very, very important. So other time can be spent for other subjects. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, so whenever doubt is there, a child need to get their doubts clarified. This is very, very important because most of the children shy away and they don't ask. But one should not feel shy. You need to ask your doubts. But at the same time, we are forcing students to ask doubts on every Friday. But still, it should be voluntary rather than forced one. So they need to revise uh, with the periodics or the plan that they made. I just mentioned some hours, like 8 hours, like that, but it depends on the need of the child, because some may do it in 1 hour, some may do it in 2 hours, some may do it in 5 hours, like that. Based on child's speed, we need to fix up the things. Practice 15 years papers before exams so that they get good idea on what will be asked and how to answer them in time and all. Please take the test, every test that is being given to you. Most of the kids avoid test thinking that it is conducted to test them. It is not conducted to test the students, but it is conducted to assess the students and see what improvements need to be made. So child need to take the test, understand what are their shortcomings and overcome them over a period of time. Focus on concepts rather than problem solving. Don't by heart, understand them. All the formula of mathematics or sciences should be on the fingertips, and always learn the techniques to answer the questions. Even if it is reading passages, you need to understand the methods and stay focused on what you're doing. Don't deviate too much from the syllabus given or curriculum given. Believe yourselves, because you're an achiever, you're not a loser. So please believe yourselves. Nothing will stop you if you put effort, and try to have a practice of answering 5 reading passages in 45 minutes of time, so that that speed is maintained. Try to do calculator questions also without calculator, so that you can develop the skills needed. Don't brood when you're sitting for 3 hours of exam or preparation time, because it will make you lose the time. So therefore, use time effectively. And there are 8 techniques of answering objective questions, but out of which 3 different techniques are largely used, which a student should develop. Of course, that we'll do in teaching, because a student may not know now without our teaching, but we'll give them those techniques. Improve in every test by test, and remember that effort pays ways. This is what is from my end. So I'll answer the queries that parents have. Harshita, you can take it forward from here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for the insightful knowledge about NAPLAN. So before moving on to the Q&A section, I would really love to explain some few points about the NAPLAN which we are offering to our parents in Turito. So, like, meanwhile, parents can ask any queries if they have in Q&A section, which we will take after this. So in Turito, we are providing individualized attention. So that means you can go for one-on-one session also, and you can choose group sessions as well, gauging gaps and working on the same. So of course, as sir explained, that our teachers are going to work with your child, and they will look out with the weakness points, whatever your child is facing right now, and we are going to work on it. Insight on students' academic progress. Of course, all the parents will have all the information about how much their child is progressing, in which subjects they need more help and where they need to improve. Solid fundamentals and clear subject-wise basics. Regular assessments will be there with the course material. So for all this, we are providing this student dashboard with key metrics for continuous updates. Here you can see that how many subjects the child is learning from Turito, tests related to those subjects, and the progress report, that how much your child is progressing in that particular subject. On this same dashboard, you can check the attendance of the child, progress summary, subject-wise progress. You can check the performance summary, that how much he has performed in all the subject and where he stands out of all our students, those who are enrolled in Turito. test-wise performance you can check here, recently taken test, recently learned concepts, so that the child can go through the recently learned concept to revise the topics. Strengths and weaknesses, of course, it is very important to know the strengths and weaknesses of the child so that for the upcoming classes, the child can work accordingly. Recommendations, this is from our experts that what are recommended to your child for the future thing. Test analysis and tutor connect. This is one of the sample of a test that how do we conduct our test on the dashboard. So this is about Turito and its features what we are offering to our child. I would request all the parents to post their queries in Q&A section so that we can answer them. So I believe we have some questions here. One question is from Mrs. Arora. What are the subjects in NAPLAN? Sir, I believe you can answer this.
Yeah, I already mentioned this, Harshita. We have English and mathematics. English, we have two parts again, reading and writing. In mathematics, we have two parts again, with calculator and without calculator, if it is grade 5 and grade 7. Otherwise, if it is grade 3 and grade 5, it is normal, only without calculator only.
Okay. So I would love to introduce the sales manager from our Turito. He's a program manager also. So Mr. Shivam here, who can give you all the information about the classes and the discount offers which we are offering right now. Over to you, Shivam.
Thanks, Harshita. So, hi everyone. So I'll be handling any queries you have regarding enrollment and the sales part. So please do drop in all your queries in Q&A section or in chat box.
So we have one more question that do you know if year 3 NAPLAN will be paper based or online? Any idea on this, sir? Do we have any idea?
It was both earlier, but now they are planning to make it only offline. So we need to wait and see what decision government will take on. They want to go for only paper based.
There's a question, how much time it takes for NAPLAN to stop?
Pardon, Harshita, can you repeat? I could not listen.
I believe the question is not explained maybe properly, that how much time it takes for NAPLAN to stop. So I believe Mrs. Arora, you can please brief this question in detail in the chat box again. There's a question from one parent that what is the fee structure? Can you please clarify? Mr. Shivam,
Yeah.
you can answer.
Yeah, so our team will be connecting with you on this. They'll be brief you about the fee structure, the class timings and everything, how it works. And also we are running some discounts as of now. If you enroll within 48 hours of this webinar, we are giving additional 30% off. So by tomorrow, our team will be connecting with you. They'll be telling you about the fee structure, and it's grade wise actually. So,
thank you, Shivam. So one parent asked that will we get the presentation also by email? Yes, of course, we are going to share this presentation if it is required by you on your email. And there's one question that what is the timing for each class and frequency and exact cost, please? So we can, I believe, answer them for the each class and frequency timings.
all right. So frequency of the class pretty much depends on you as of now. So ideally, again, it depends on grade. We give 40 sessions if the student is in year 3 or year 5, and 58 sessions if the student is in year 7 or year 9. And these are batch sessions. So we'll be sharing a schedule with you once our team, once our associates connect with you, and they'll be, depending on your time slot, when are you available, accordingly we can discuss that out. So ideally these will be 2 to 3 sessions a week if you enroll now, and obviously if you enroll further later in vacations or after a couple of months, the number of sessions every week will increase.
Okay. So I believe this answers the next two questions as well, that what is the daily session duration? As Shivam said, 40 minutes. And how much does the program cost? That you will get to know after this webinar. You'll get a call from the counselor. And is the classes on daily basis, and what are the timings?
Again, the classes won't be on daily basis. The minimum number of classes will be 2, and maximum will be around 4 to 5 classes you can take. Again, that depends when are you enrolling, and duration will be 1 hour each. Okay, so there will be 40 sessions for year 3 and year 5, but the duration of each session will be around 1 hour.
Thank you, Shivam. So there's one more question. Does NAPLAN has multiple selection questions for maths?
Yeah, whether it is maths or English, it is multiple choice questions.
Okay, thanks, sir. And there's one more question. How many hours for this NAPLAN preparation course for year 3?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, from our side, we are giving 40 hours of classes. And of course, depending on the student's pace, we'll be giving some doubt clarification sessions as well, apart from those 40 sessions. Again, that you can request with the program manager that we'll be assigning you after your enrollment.
Okay. I believe there's a suggestion from one of the parent. I would have really appreciated a transparent fee structure. Definitely next time we can work on it. Thank you for the suggestion, ma'am. And there's one more question. It will be group or individual sessions?
These will be purely group sessions, and it will be a batch of 3 students, of course, from the same grade as your child. Yeah.
So I would request all the parents to post their queries if they have any other queries apart from the questions asked. So there's one query that as NAPLAN is in May, so when will we start past NAPLAN test papers?
Yeah, actually, once the course starts for the child, they'll have fortnightly tests. And at the end of the program, after that 40 and 58 sessions, they'll have 5 grand tests. So this is the frequency of tests we go for.
Okay, thank you, sir. And there's a question, what if in one batch session, and then how will it work out if different kids had different need?
Yeah, I think this is pure academic question parent has asked. See, as I already mentioned in my discussion, when the teaching learning process is going on, teacher will be observing, because we keep small groups. We don't go for more than 6 students per group, and sometimes it is less also. When we already put small groups, teacher will be observing each and every child, as our system of teaching learning process is interactive, not lecture method. So when we are interacting, we understand the shortcomings in any, if any, in the child, and then we'll accordingly try to clarify if it can be done, or largely a doubt which everyone can have, then we do it in the regular class. Otherwise, we go for specific one-on-one also if needed. So it is almost like one-on-one only, though it is group coaching, it is almost like one-on-one.
Thank you, sir. There's a query. Could I get a hard copy of the subject after the session so that I can revise with the student later? So I believe there's a dashboard for that. And of course, you can get the soft copies, but hard copies are not possible. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Shivam.
All the study material that we'll be providing, I think parent can download it and make it as a hard copy. From our side, we won't be sending any, but yes, all the material is printable, and you can use that as a hard copy as well.
So the NAPLAN for grade 5 is in March in 23. So please let us know a plan for this one. How many weekly sessions can you offer?
Surely, as I mentioned, my team will be connecting with you. We'll be explaining you each and everything, how it's gonna work out for you and for your child, and then we can see from there what we can do.
I believe all the remaining questions which are asked are already answered about the classes timings. And of course, there's a question, what are the timings? Are the classes on weekends? Of course, these classes are flexible, so you can choose the timings and days according to your comfort. That is totally fine. And remaining queries, I believe, would be answered by the counselor. Of course, it's late today, so you'll get a call by tomorrow. Any other queries related to curriculum, if any parent wants to ask? We can wait for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, there is one question, Harshita. Are the teachers from Australia? We have teachers from all over the world, but for NAPLAN, mostly from Australia. English, of course. Mathematics, of course, we go for Indian teachers as well Australian teachers or other parts of the world also. But English mainly from Australia because they need to have a good information about the curriculum.
So one parent has this doubt that this NAPLAN exam in 23 is in March or May.
Yeah, just now one message I have read. This year it is in March. They said we'll recheck once again if there is any change in dates. Harshita, we need to recheck. And once we recheck and if anything is there, we'll modify our teaching learning process accordingly. Don't worry about that.
So if any parent has any doubt related to curriculum, teachers part, definitely they can ask that thing. We can wait for 1 more minute here. Otherwise, you'll get a call by the Turito counselor by tomorrow. Of course, they will answer all your queries. Shivam, I would request you to please brief about this, the offer which we are offering for now.
Yeah, Harshita, the dates are released. It seems, please recheck. And then if it is March, dear parents, don't worry, we'll reschedule and increase number of classes per week by 1 class a week than regularly scheduled. So don't worry, we'll get back tomorrow itself on that. There is some schedule released, it seems. Let's check that, Harshita. If any change is there, we'll accordingly reschedule our program.
Okay, thank you, sir. So one parent is asking that can we have any trail class which a parent can attend? Shivam, can we give any trail class for this?
We can talk about it. I think again our team will be connecting with you. So again, as per your demand, I think we can arrange something. Yeah.
So I think we are good for now. And we'll be ending the session now. For the remaining queries, if any parent has any queries related to curriculum, fees, and classes, definitely you'll get a call tomorrow. You can ask the counselor for that. So thank you for joining us. If you would like to know more about Turito, please visit our website www.turito.com. And if have any queries, please feel free to reach us at care@turito.com. For a better way of learning, join Turito now. Have a great day. Thank you all.
Thank you.